It's your resident book auntie. Don't you just love a cold, rainy, cozy day? I certainly do. It's been so cold and rainy the past month or so here in Virginia, and I just need the cozy and the reading. So settle in, get your blankets, get your hot tea and your snacks. It's gonna be a long, cozy one this time.
Girl, hey, it's that kind of day outside. It's time to make some chili. So now listen, this is just how Chrissie makes her chili. I ain't got no recipe book either. Cooking is my other passion, and I love cooking. I love trying out new and different recipes, Korean cuisine, Southern cuisine, smothered gravy, everything, okay? I also really try to cook with fresh ingredients as best I can, and to cook at home as best I can. But honey, sometimes the McDonald's french fries be calling your name. They're like, Chrissie, come out here in these streets, girl, get these fries. No salt, hot, dry. If you want fresh, hot fries, just say no salt, and they have to make them fresh because they usually put salt on the french fries. Just a fun tip. That's usually how it works, usually. But I have to cremate them to order. So anyway, ingredients, I think voiceover Chris is gonna take it from here and tell y'all the ingredients. But I am making the chili. Okay, so voiceover Chrissie, here you go, girl.
So apparently voiceover Chrissie got put on the spot. So y'all, like I was saying, I love some chili. So I got my ingredients here. Just aside, I am gonna put the recipe in the description below. But these are all the ingredients that I got. So look, we got a little beef stock, we got a little onion, we got some salt. Look at that little chili powder, because I'm making this chili. Gotta have the chili powder, cumin, black pepper, honey. We need ginger. That's really good. Garlic powder, onion powder. Them seasonings right there. These right here, must have. Beef stock, absolutely. And this non-alcoholic beer, it really does like elevate the flavor. Sweet onion, fresh tomatoes, and shallot is my new seasoning that I have with garlic, mushroom, cilantro, jalapeño, pepper, honey. And you need the Busch's best, because listen, I don't have time. Who's soaking beans? Chili beans, kidney beans. Who's soaking the beans? I have soaked beans before, but how my schedule was set up, we're gonna go to the can, huh? And a little baking soda for the girl. And we gotta have the bacon grease, because who's making chili without bacon grease? Yeah, I am. Okay. So now I'm just gonna chop up some shallot here, which is my favorite seasoning. We're gonna put it in that pan, honey. With a little garlic. The garlic's coming in a second. It'll be here. Hold on. We're gonna get that film. We're gonna get it right. There you go. There's the garlic. There it is, girl. Yes. Listen now, y'all know, auntie, this ain't no cooking show, huh? But I do my best. I love cooking. Okay. I love cooking. It's very relaxing for me, and I just love cooking for my family. And honey, Miss Librarian love to eat. Okay. So right now I'm grounding up my ground beef. I'm putting all of my seasonings in, garlic powder, onion powder. I tend to put that in while I'm cooking my meat, because I want the flavor to get in there. Especially with my chili, I like to layer the flavors in. So I'm just gonna let that cook down with the garlic and the shallot, and let it cook in as well. And then I slowly add in my sausage. I usually like to do like the ground beef and sausage mix, but it's just this basic sausage. I'm not using any kind of Italian sausage, but if I'm making like spaghetti or something like that, then I will do sausage. But yep, so we're just gonna get that all mixed up, get it brown, get it cooked. It's looking good. Now we're gonna chop up these vegetables, honey, okay? So we got mushroom. You gotta rinse them off, huh? Gotta rinse them off first, huh? Clean the vegetables, huh? Can't be eating fungi on the fungi. So yeah, girl, Chrissie, you gonna cop? Okay. So yeah, just chopping these veggies up real nicely. Again, I am not a professional. I just love to cook, at the house. Okay, this is, and fresh ingredients always taste better. tomato is really good. I like doing fresh tomatoes as well because I do have some like GERD issues. How my GERD is set up, child. I'll be belching and burping for 5 days if I don't, put a little baking soda and use fresh tomatoes rather than the canned tomatoes. But again, that's just how my preference is. And the bell pepper. And especially I love cooking as well because I like having the bright colors of food, and yellow bell peppers are just really, really good. And I think I just wanted some brightness to the food. Look at me. Okay, Food Network Chrissie. Food Network Chrissie. Okay, look at that. Get that chopping. You go, girl. I really, really enjoy having like the 2 types of onions in my chili, but the price is high with these onions.
So y'all, everything's fine. It's just these red onions got me a girl in here weeping and wailing and gnashing the teeth, this is all from the onion and your girl string, and I still got another ring of onion to go. Like, the tears is falling. The snot is here. But this is what we do. This is a commitment. My chili need 2 types of onion. I need a red onion and a sweet onion. I need the red onion and the Vidalia. But I just want to let y'all know I'm fine. So if you see me, I'm fine. Ain't nothing wrong with me, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong.
Ooh, boy, that was some trying times, We prayed through that thing. We prayed through these veggies. So now that my veggies are done and my meat has been strained as well. Sometimes I leave the grease in, sometimes I don't, but this time I figured I didn't want it as greasy. So I'm going to add now a little avocado oil to start sweating out my veggies. And of course, honey, more garlic because we need the garlic. It's really good for blood pressure from what I hear, but And then more red onion because I think I read out of shallot. I don't know if red onion is the same as shallot. I'm not sure, but hey, child, listen, we do what we can with what we got. So now I'm slowly adding in my onions as well to start sweating those out. Look like I got a little bell pepper snuck in on there. Okay. And then we're going to add in all of the rest of the veggies. So we're going to sweat those out just a little bit. And I love it. When I'm cooking, I just love the bright colors, the smell. At this point, it's starting to smell really, really good. So now I'm adding the meat to the sauteed veggies, and we're going to start building out the chili. And oh my goodness, on average, this dish takes me about, I want to say 30 minutes to make, depending on if I have to break up my steps, if I have to, cut my veggies and then come back as well. And I do add a little bit of olive oil to this just because my meat has been sitting and I drained all of the oil out of it, the grease. So I do want a little bit of, I don't want it to be dry, which that can happen. Now we're going to add in the tomatoes and let them cook down as well. Isn't it? It's just so pretty. Girl, I'm going to have to make some chili tonight. Lord have mercy. I mean, another night. Not when you watching it, but another night. This was another night. And now, honey, let's add in those seasonings. We got that garlic powder. We're going to have some chili powder. I actually add quite a bit more chili powder to this, but just starting out, I add that in there. And then, honey, Chrissie, what else you going to add in there next, girl? What's coming next? What's coming next? Oh, we got some cumin coming in there. Yep. Okay, look at you. Okay, that's a lot of cumin, Chrissie, huh? That's a lot of cumin. You ain't got that much chili powder on there. What you doing? We don't normally put that much cumin. huh? Ginger, a little bit of ginger is really good as well. Listen, y'all, I'm a professional. I know how to do these recipe voiceovers, okay? A little salt. I do salt my food a little bit while I'm cooking it, but the key is not to salt the food when it's done, right? So really just layering in the seasonings as I cook really adds in that depth of flavor that I really enjoy. Now that we've let that cook, we're gonna add some beef stock. I'll actually add about a cup and a half, maybe 2 cups of beef stock as well to kind of get the base going. We're gonna bring that to a boil, and the chili is starting to bake. Oh my goodness, yes, hear that bubble. Do you see that meat, y'all? Oh my goodness. Lord, I thank you. Water and our beans, and I just throw the whole can in there with the sauce and everything. And I really, as of late, am really enjoying kidney beans as well. So I definitely like to have a mix of beans in my chili. So yeah, so good. Now listen, we've got a long way without no shenanigans, but cue it. Yeah, so you see all that baking soda? I don't know what it's about. Oh, Father God, listen, this girl, so much baking soda. I don't even know what we're going to do. And then I try to fix it. I try not to panic. And I say, okay, let me just stir it to see if that will make it be better. But I put a whole 3 tablespoons of baking soda. I don't know what I thought was going to happen. It's going to bubble up, as you can see here, and overflow. And at this moment in time, your girl is freaking out because I don't think I've ever in the history of making chili put this much baking soda in it. So then I start to stir it. I turn the heat down thinking that's going to help. Y'all see, that ain't help. That ain't helped at all. It ain't helped at all. Nope. Hasn't at all. Put a little water in it. That ain't help either, girl. That ain't help. Then I said, well, maybe I need to strain it off. Yeah. So like, okay, we think we're doing something, huh? We think we're delivered. We think we're set free, huh? But then we have a couple steps back, huh? We have a few stumbling blocks. And so, it's looking pretty desperate. It's looking pretty desperate, huh? And then it started boiling up again and your girl's still having issues. I said, let's throw some stock in it. Let's throw some stock. And that's like, yeah, no. That didn't really help either. But it did add to the depth of flavor later. But listen. Oh, look, I put a little seasoning in there. I think that's going to help too. Girl, that just made it worse. Look at the seeds. But let me testify the Lord's goodness, y'all. Let me just testify. If you just take it to him and just let it sit there and just, and you know, stop adding your own stuff to it. Like, I'm just still adding my own stuff too. Don't need to be added. I'm adding a whole bunch of stuff that don't need to be added. Okay? Yeah, I'm still doing the most at this point. But if I just let it sit, we're still oh my goodness, more garlic, honey. Wow. The desperation. But let me say, they that wait on the Lord, huh? He shall renew their strength, huh? They will mount up on wings as an eagle, huh? Listen, you just gotta wait on it. I just had to wait on the chili. I just needed to cook it down. It just needed to have those flavors. And look what the Lord will do if you trust him. Huh? Listen, look how the Lord provided. He provided a ram in the bush, huh? And that ram was, girl, leave the lid off and let it just cook down, huh? That's all I needed to do. Let's prepare it. Shout out to Mr. Librarian himself, steady cam man, okay? Holding the cam because he is determined to get his food set up correctly. So yeah, appreciate you, Mr. Librarian. And so we have added our green onions, some cheese, some sour cream, and voila.
This is probably the best chili I've ever made. I ain't gonna hold it. What do you say, honey? His silence is agreement. Delicious. So good. I was saying how much you like the chili. I was just catching up, leaving a commentary. I actually added cilantro and jalapenos. I don't know how to say jalapeno. Put some heat on it too. Ain't nothing like it. Delicious. All these books I'm reading. Let's talk about it. All the books that I'm reading. The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I ain't gonna be saying that name wrong. Y'all ain't gonna have me out here saying names wrong as usual. Won't be said of me. Buddy read this with my bestie Julie. Saw her update her Goodreads saying she was reading. I was like, wait for me. I gave this 3 stars. It follows a group of actors. Everybody's unreliable and unlikable. Everybody got a backstory. But the main narrator, Elliot, no slouch on you, big boy. We're not talking about you. It's all right. It's really, it follows, it follows this, a group of elusive actors. And one of them is murdered. They go to this Greek island to get away. Lo and behold, it's a lot more to it than that. One of the things I really, really liked about this book, let me just read the inside of it to you. Just said, this is a tale of murder, or maybe that's not quite true. At its heart, it's a love story, isn't it? Ooh, sir, you're on shaky ground on that one. I tell you this because you may think you know the story. You probably read about it at the time. It caused a real stir in the tabloids, if you remember. It had all the necessary ingredients. Press sensation, a celebrity, private island, or murder. And then he says, my name is Elliot, and I'm going to tell you a story unlike one you've ever heard. Sir, the thing is, I kind of did hear about this. The thing is, it was kind of like that. I really, really loved about it was that it had like this Greek tragedy tone to it, set in this Greek island with Shakespearean type, gray, elusive characters. And I really, really love that. So much so that I think I may have discovered like another reading trope that I enjoy, which is like Greek tragedy retellings or like styles. Julie recommended me to read If We Were Villains, which is kind of set in that theater Shakespearean experience. I was a thespian in high school, so I'm all about the Broadway. I'm all about all of the things with Broadway and Shakespeare and plays, and really, really like this. The only thing is, though, the ending did fall flat for me a little bit. It just kind of was a bit ambiguous, sort of. Elliot, the narrator, he kind of does tell us what's going to happen, right, in the beginning of the story. I really liked that. It was very refreshing to read on page, but it did leave the ending a little flat for me. And then there was like a cheating trope in there as well, but it was a lot more refined. It wasn't like the run of the mill other ones I found, because I work with Geek City if it got too far with that. But I really liked the introspective reflection of a lot of the characters, and I really liked his writing style in this one. 3.5 stars. I rounded it down to a 3-star because it was just missing a couple things on it. But I mean, if you like character work, the character work in this it's really, really good. So if you like character work and a not so suspenseful thriller with some Greek tragedy, you might like this. But if you're looking for a pow, red herring, surprise, maybe not. It just depends. I can't say if you've read this thriller, read this one. Books. I think I've read all of his books actually, and I've given them all like 3 stars. That's a good rating. And so I will continue to read more of his books because I actually really enjoy them. So new angle here because these knees, honey, we gotta move the camera, child. Ooh, child. What I'm enjoying now, I'm reading A Cozy with Teresa. You already know we staying on these buddy reads, girl. Bet we stay on these buddy reads. I'm about 30% of the way through. It's what's her name? Lady Hardcastle and her maid, sleuthing around the town, trying to figure out who done killed who, And, people got their suspicions about them. They're like, ooh, they don't operate how everybody else operate. Either they misplay them or they overplay them. They really don't know how Miss Lady Hardcastle and the vibe, they really don't be knowing. They really don't get it, right? I've paired this with the audiobook on Evernote, Check Evernote is the place to be. But they stay limiting your audiobooks, and that's just annoying. They have some things I need to know what was going on in their backstory, okay? Lady Hardcastle, there's a backstory here we need to find out, okay? But I gotta wait to see what Teresa, the cozy mystery queen, gonna say about this too. So science fiction, fantasy, I'm getting really deep into that now, getting back to my roots. Nova, which is book 1 in the Star-Lord Legacy, I'm really enjoying it. This is a Christian science fiction book. A mighty empire, a lowly slave, a galaxy to save. Will a hero rise. That's all we need to know, okay? Them all the facts we gonna get, huh? And I'm really enjoying it. I've read about 10% of it so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's sci-fi. Definitely leans more into hard science fiction with a lot of technical terminology and spaceship terminology and new terms. And I love that when authors take that extra step and create this world. There are actually drawings and pictures of the weapons and things and the spaceships and the technology that's in this world at this time. And that's so refreshing to read, especially in a Christian science fiction. I'm super excited. I feel like I'm really going to love this series. And yeah, so more thoughts will come on this one. I can't wait to see where this goes. And then the Pied de Resistance, Fellowship of the Ring. Listen, look at my annotations. Look at them. Yeah, we're right here with that. We're right here with that, with those annotations. I will show y'all. I should probably write the annotations down, huh? So y'all know what my annotations are. These are the colors for my annotations, but the words ain't there. So y'all like, okay, Chrissie, where the words at? What these colors mean? Buddy reading this with Holly, Lindsay, Tay, and Teresa, The Lord of the Rings, specifically the Fellowship of the Ring, and it is absolutely amazing. I'm actually on chapter 7, and I'm really glad that I read The Hobbit first. Like, I'm super glad we read that because that has a lot of context. That's a lot of consequences and implications in starting the Fellowship of the Ring, because if I hadn't read that, your girl would have been uber lost, huh? I'd have been out here, but where am I at? Okay, I would have been confused. Much confusion if I had not read The Hobbit first. So I'm super glad I read The Hobbit. Literally picks right up. The last chapter in The Hobbit is like the first chapter in this one, in the Fellowship of the Ring, I believe. So that was really great because it kind of like continues on. And I'm listening to the audiobook with Andy Serkis, and let me tell you, the audiobook is imperative and it's so good that it makes you like, you think like, oh, I can just listen to the audiobook. I was like, oh, no. I got to get the book. I got to annotate. I got to follow along. This is not like one of those books where I feel like, oh, I can just walk around, listen and do. For me, it's immediately immersive. And I got this with Land of Silence too. Like I heard one sentence of Land of Silence in the beginning. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down and read this book like physically because it's so immersive. Loving Sam and Mary and Pippin. Like, they are just the squad. Like, they're such squad goals. And I think one of my favorite scenes so far is when Frodo is expressing his concern about where he has to go and the challenges that he has to. Frodo's got a heavy burden on him, and he's like, yeah, y'all, you know, I gotta go my own way. His friend's like, what you talking about? You think we ain't know, son? You think we ain't know, man? Man, we knew where you was going and what you was gonna do, but we ain't leaving you. That's ride or die friends right there. That's brotherhood bonding. And like, that was so amazing to see on page. They are just these little hobbits in this big wide world, and Gandalf ain't nowhere to be found. Where is Gandalf? We don't know where he at. He stayed ghosting everybody, but he got things to do. Gandalf is important. We love Gandalf. He got things to do. But I'm just saying, he stayed just, I'm back when you see me back. That's what he say. Okay, so I'm like, okay, sir. And the buddy read as well, sharing our thoughts and where we are. And I think all of us were like, yeah, we got to annotate. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to get through this and not annotate, because it just will be my annotation copy, and I probably will get another copy because it's already given one of my favorites this year already. So I don't know. The top 10 is gonna be very difficult this year, like it is every year. What am I saying? But yeah, so Lord of the Rings, I'm super excited. This has just been amazing. So I'm definitely prepared for more thoughts and reactions because they're coming. Let's get some of that. Don't say I ain't do nothing for you. Good evening. It's manicure night and my nails are freshly cleaned and ready to go, but I enjoy nail polish. Yes, I do. And I have been collecting Zoya nail polish since 2014. Yeah, it's a whole era, so welcome. I used to wear gel nails back in the day, and honey child, those gel nails were cool. Like, they didn't chip, they didn't do nothing, but it really broke my nail bed really bad. And I never had an issue with growing my nails or having strong nails, but when I started to get the gel nails, it just tore my cuticle up. It just caused a lot of ridging in the nail, or like peeling in my nail. And then I broke out in a terrible fungus all around my cuticle bed on both hands, and it was embarrassing, and it took me months, like 6 months, to recover from that. And I just used natural remedies to help with that. And I essentially put olive oil on my hands, massage my olive oil on my hands 3 times a day. Would put cuticle cream. I had to keep my cuticles moisturized all day long. And even at night, I had to wear the little satin gloves you put on your hands. And then they repaired themselves. But while I was going through that transition, I started to research nail polish and getting back to my basics. Years ago when I was little, I used to love doing manicures, and I got away from it. And so this nail fungus had me like, girl, number 4 first, gel nails is expensive, okay? And that was in 2014. For second, girl, this fungus ain't nothing to play with, huh? So I said, there's definitely a list of reasons. Been collecting nail polish, and I researched Zoya, and I love Zoya because they always have, not sponsored by the way, but if you watching, but what I really appreciate about Zoya is like they always have these flash sales going on. Actually, vegan nail polish, it's good for children and pets and to use. It's such a really great brand, and I highly recommend their brand. I love all their colors. I love all of their different variants that they have. So many polishes, and so yeah, I definitely enjoy this. So I figured, out of all of that, let's do nails tonight. Eek, I'm so excited. But first, we must figure out what color. Okay, maybe this is better. Okay, this is better. So look at Venus. Isn't she amazing? Venus is gorgeous. Okay, girl, look at Venus. Venus might be an option. Let's see what else. Feel free to put down in the comments which ones you would like to see me wear one day. I'm sure it probably doesn't help. I'm kind of holding up the names. So we got Karen. Hey, don't be mad at me. That's the name of it. Marigold, Zeke, and Soko. And so what I really love about Zoya nail polishes as well is that they all are names of women. And I have yet to have a polish with my name, but one day. So I'm gonna save this color wheel for probably January colors, only because I kind of like to go seasonally in a way, unless I'm just in a specific nail polish mood. But the blues are looking very tempting as well. So these are the blues that I have left, and I'm just gonna see here. Ooh, Dream is actually a favorite. Dream, I've had Dream for a long time. And Dream is gorgeous. I mean, Devon is gorgeous as well. It's like a charcoal purple blue. I mean, it's just so beautiful. And I just thoroughly enjoy doing. And the Merida, I mean, hello. Talk about Christmas green, somebody, okay? It's Christmas Day at the time of this, so I think I passed that on, but we'll see. Ooh, Remy is gorgeous as well. Look at Remy. Now, I'm trying to think. Venus is so beautiful, What if I did like maybe an accent with Venus? Venus has a beautiful like purple in it.
So these are the colors that I picked, and I love this color. And so starting off, these are some of the things that I tend to use. So I have my sugar scrub here, and body cream, which is kind of just like a lotion I put on after my manicure. I have my cuticle remover, and then my cuticle tools as well, my cuticle color, cuticle oil, which is a must, especially in the winter, and my nail polish holder as well, with some buffers. And so make sure I have clean nails, and I just go through and I buff out all the ridges, because sometimes I'll get ridges in my nails like that, and it's a little hard, and sometimes the nail polish doesn't stick like it should. And so I really try to buff out those ridges, and make sure there isn't any peeling. So now I'm just going to soak my hands in some hot to warm water. I kind of like my water a little hot. It's very relaxing, but warm water is fine, or just water in general with a little soap in it, a little gentle soap. So after I do that, and now I actually add the cuticle remover, and these are just the steps that I do. I'm sure different nail salons, and there's probably someone who's probably a little more experienced with this than me, but these are the steps that I do, and I find it very helpful for me. I am a little rusty when I film this. I was like, oh, what step did I do? So I could just be all off steps, but that in aside, I rub that in and make sure the cuticle remover gets in there, because you kind of want your nail bed to be soft when you are cleaning up your cuticle bed. And so now I'm taking my cuticle pusher, I think that's what that's called, honey child, I don't know, but I know how to use it, huh? So this part is the cuticle pusher, so I just go around and kind of clean up and push my cuticles back, and then I flip it and I get all the excess cuticle that's dead around the bed. I go and do that, and then I push it back, and I do that for both of my hands. So the next thing that I do, I actually cut my cuticles, and I usually do this every other manicure. It is something that I had to learn how to do. So if you do use your cuticle cutters, just be careful. They do cut. They are scissors. They will snip and cut and bleed if you're not careful. But the look afterwards is just the best. And then I take my glass file, which is literally my favorite file. I just love filing my nails with my glass file. And I don't really have a way of shaping my nails a certain way. I just want them to be semi-even for the most part. There's no I need them shaped like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or like an octagon or something. And so then after that, I put on my scrub to kind of just get all the excess buffering and dead skin and all the things that I've been doing. So I rub that on my hands, get it in there really good, especially focusing in on my nail bed. So then I wash all that off, and I follow it up with my cuticle oil, which I apply this very generously, especially here in Virginia. It's so cold, and my cuticles are just drying out on a daily basis. So I really wanted to hydrate them a lot more. So I definitely am very. And so after that, I rub that in, and then I move that excess oil off of my actual nail. There is still plenty of oil on my nail bed, but my cuticles are quite hydrated. And doing my nails is just so relaxing. I just really enjoy it. Sometimes I put Ambient on and just go for it. Right here, I am putting on, I believe it's Andrea, child. If I'm wrong, editing Chris will get me. But voiceover Chrissie is going on in faith, okay? So I'm putting on this beautiful purple duochrome. And it's going to be the main color of my nails, and I just love this color. It's so sultry and wintry, and it's just giving the purple aesthetic that I love for this time of year. Following up with Venus. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh my goodness, look at that. And we're gonna follow up with some top coat, because girl, we need to seal in that color. It is mandatory, and that top coat just makes the nails just gloss, and I love me a glossy top coat. Of course, it I don't know if it's just because of how I am, it does tend to chip a lot faster than just a regular top coat, but The Zoya Naked Glossy Coat is everything I need, child. Everything I need. And then I'm finishing up with the dry drops. So I usually let my hands rest or let the nail polish set for about 2 minutes or so. And so yeah, we're done. She pretty girl. All right, done. Did I get some oil on my face? It's all right. I probably it's giving a little, it's winter time. I may be getting a little ashy. Manicure nights are the best. It's so relaxing. It's so much fun. I haven't cut around my cuticles in a long time and really sat down and did like a full manicure like this. And so it was so relaxing to do so. Probably last me about 5 to 7 days, and then it'll be time to do another manicure. But I probably won't do like a full manicure because I've already done that. I've cleaned my cuticles up. So I might need to get back into the routine, actually doing it every week. Let me know down below what colors I should do next. This is just another one of the ways, like outside of reading as well, like a way to just unwind and to just relax and to really have feminine upkeep. That's really important as well. And so the nails are done. I'm so happy. I got some book mail. Let's see. It's probably a book I pre-ordered. Let's face it. It is. Let's see. Ooh, yes. The American Queen by Vanessa Miller. I got this recommendation from my girl Courtney at All Things Books. And oh my goodness, Vanessa Miller, I believe, also wrote What We Found in Hallelujah. So I haven't read this yet. But look, these covers. Listen, this just came out. It's follows over 24 years. This one was enslaved. 1869, a kingdom rose in the South, and Luella was its queen. Oh my goodness. Enslaved in a Montgomery plantation, she learned to feel one thing, but then she starts to listen. She starts to replace her hate with hope, and she learns how to trust in new miracles. Wow, transformative and breathtaking. I'm here for it. I'm super excited. Perfect for Black History Month too. Yes, we love us some book mail. Can't wait to read it.
I ended up holding court with the youngsters and impressing them with my tales of daring do from Shanghai to Calcutta. Then Armstrong found me and, strongly implying that I was brandified, took me home. You were sloshed, my lady, I said. I was, as you say, all mops and brooms, but it's indelicate of you to point it out to the inspector. It shall go no further, said the inspector with a smile. You're most kind, she said. And that was my evening. Did you notice any unusual comings and goings at around the time Mr. Holloway disappeared? No, Inspector, I'm afraid not. It wasn't the liveliest of parties, but it was a party, nonetheless. People all over the place. Doors everywhere, guests coming and going all the time. Yes, that's the problem, he said, finishing off his notes. And you, Miss Armstrong, what did you see? I recounted the events of my own evening and was describing my meeting with Sylvia Montgomery. Miss Montgomery was coming out of the library as you were on your quest for brandy, asked the inspector.
Hey. Okay, take 2. Day a quiet life in the country. Listen, I laughed so much reading this. Like, seriously, like, it's so good. It's very, very entertaining. And Lady Hardcastle and Flo, did I even tell y'all what it was in my other clip? Child, I don't know. Listen, okay, so we're following Lady Hardcastle and her maid Flo. They've moved to the countryside, for quiet living, It's giving they're running from something. It's very much giving there's some things going on that we need to find out as the series progresses, okay? Because Lady Hardcastle, she's real eccentric. She went to India by herself in 1908, and then Florence, aka Flo, she out here knowing martial arts, so she kapow, she chopping folks in the throat and stuff like that. I haven't encountered a throat chop yet, but I would like to see one. Because it's 1908 and they out here doing all the things, okay? Listen, one I think I really, really love about this too is the banter between Lady Hardcastle and Flo. It's just top tier. They troll each other and they're very sassy to one another. And what is really unique about how they go about understanding these rivalries, they've already discovered this murder. They're trying to figure out what say all is going on in this town, right? I said that what say all is going around in this town. Yeah, I said that. How are they gonna so one of the tactics that they use that I find very interesting is that they kind of play up other people's perceptions and stereotypes that other people have of them, and they kind of use that to their advantage, allow people to perceive them based on their own bias towards them, and so that way they feel comfortable around them, and so then they just start getting all the information and gaining trust
it's getting a little deceptive, but I mean, can you really control how people perceive you and their bias towards you? You can't. But, you know, they out here trying to solve murder and save lives. So there's some serious shenanigans going on, huh? Rich people, folks walking out with other people's bourbons and, you know, Flo around here semi-flirting with Flo. I don't know, but it's the thing. And Teresa and I, this was such a great pick from her because I call Teresa the cozy mystery queen, okay? Teresa has been reading cozies all her life, okay? And so when she recommended this cozy, I was like, oh, we're gonna have to check this out. And I know Miriam really enjoys this cozy mystery series as well. So I hope that was in the frame because if it's way out here, y'all probably can't even see it. But Quiet Life in the Country, I'm gonna just put it right here so that I can talk about it. But yes, and so so this is just such a good book, and I'm about 100 pages of the way through it. Banter between the two of them is just top tier, and it does give that the Christie-esque style. Sort of. Like there's something refreshing and refined about T.E. Kinsley's way of writing and how these mysteries unfold. And although I've read other cozy mysteries that I have smiled at and I had a wonderful time, they weren't as humorous. Or it didn't really make me laugh out loud per se, but this is making me laugh out loud. And so I would kind of consider that humorous because if I chuckle to myself, that's a chuckle. But honey, if I'm a ha ha, a key, this gets key for me. And so I'm even more excited to continue this series because I need to know what Lady Hardcastle and Flo was up to, okay? Like what's their backstory? They're just such interesting characters and they're super dynamic. They're super funny and their dynamic between each other is just top tier. It's just great. And I'm having a blast. So next time you see this, I probably done finish the child, okay?
Now everybody say FriYAY. Everybody say FriYAY. Everybody say FriYAY. Friday, amen. Everybody say FriYAY. Everybody say FriYAY. Everybody say FriYAY. Boba today in the bag say FriYAY. All the sisters say FriYAY. All the children say FriYAY. Husbands too. Friday. Everybody. Friday. Everybody say FriYAY. Everybody say FriYAY. Everybody say FriYAY. Friday. Amen. Hey unicorns, it's the end of the vlog. I want to thank you for hanging out with me for these days in the life. This was so much fun. I definitely had a lot of fun cooking and all the lifestyle things, days in my life, honey, because these days was all mixed up. And let me tell you, the weather is still pretty cold. How's the weather where you hail from? Hopefully it's a lot better than mine because, honey, these cuticles, this skin, you got to make sure lotion is always on deck, okay? Before I go, I finished A Quiet Life in the Country, 4 stars. This book was so amazing. I had such a wonderful time. Teresa and I stay on these buddy reads and we cackled our way through this book. This is the first book in the Lady Hardcastle series. I loved how it ended. It had a little suspenseful moment towards that last 10%. I was like, oh, you out here giving some tension in the story. Super excited to continue this series. It was the best. This. Did I just read my favorite book of February? I did, honey. At the time of this recording, it's February 5th. Is it the February 5th? I don't know. February for a few days. I think I've already read my favorite book of February. I'm gonna hold you. Listen, Nova was amazing. Like when I got to page 181, it went from 4-star to 5-star. It just kept going. This is a high stakes Christian science fiction. I just thoroughly enjoyed this so much. This is my first time reading Chuck Black and it was just so amazing.
amazing. Like, the stakes were high, the plot twist. I mean,
editing Chrissie here. So I wanted to jump in here with some additional thoughts. I would consider this science fiction book a very hard science fiction book. It does lean in a lot heavier into the technological aspect. So think hard science fiction in terms and themes and creative ways and innovations and how technology uses and different types of coding. And it's like the best science fiction for a nerd. I'm just saying. It's kind of Star Wars space opera type storytelling. So if that's your bag, you're gonna love it. Definitely wanted to pass that sentiment on. Okay, Film and Chrissie, go back to all the amazing things, girl.
First half was interesting, was the setup, it was build up, and then it just went on to a galaxy far, far away, honey. And I'm on the starship with everybody. Okay, take me along on the adventure. And Chuck Black really did. This is just absolutely amazing. Did I already start the second book? Yes, I did. I'll probably be finishing the second book by the time y'all see the next vlog, or I might be on the third or fourth book. I don't know, child. I have to finish this series because it ends in such a way. It's like, oh my gosh, we have to go along with Desi and this huge journey that he's on. And oh my goodness, y'all, I just love this book. 5 stars. One of my favorite books for February, if not my favorites. We thank the Lord, because now it's like, ooh, I'm in my science fiction bag. She's back in her bag. We thank the Lord. We also still reading through Fellowship of the Rings, but honey, y'all already know this is Big Tome City. So what's on deck? I was watching Lou's channel. She was saying, she said TBRs are hard for her, but she might do MBRs. I said, girl, yes, it may be read, it may not be, but we're gonna let you know what is potential, huh? Okay, so Lou, I see you, girl. Hey. So this month in February, my girl Tay Taylor is hosting her first readathon. We're super excited to participate. Song of Ebony by Deborah Grace White. Look at this cover. Pretty brown girl on the cover. Say less. A Snow White retelling. So at a minimum, your girl gonna be pixie dust. Fortress of Snow by Melanie Dickerson. This is on my winter TBR. This is one of the ones I really did want to read, and also beautiful purple cover. Say less. And so I think it's a retelling of, it's a fairy tale retelling. I don't know which one it is. I want the girl that says she don't need him, she got friends, and she got knives. So say less, girl. What you got friends for knives? Let me know. Okay. Dust by Kara Swanson. Peter Pan retelling. I think it has Christian elements too, so it's a Christian clean fantasy. And so I'm super excited to read this because I've read some Peter Pan retellings that have been quite interesting. Darling girl, I'm looking at you. So hopefully get to this as well. And that's some additional reads that I plan on reading as well. This is actually very high up on my MBR, so I'm really looking forward to checking this out. It'll be my first time reading Vanessa Miller, so I'm super excited. Historical Christian fiction. So yeah, we're gonna see where it goes. And then also, I want to squeeze this in. This is literally one of my favorites of all time. Passing by Nila Larson follows Claire, who is a light-skinned, elegant woman, and she is passing for white. This is like the OG to personal librarian. I really believe that a lot of this storytelling, it really reminds me of Passing. It's one of my favorites of all time, and it's a classic. I haven't read it in a couple years, and so I feel like this might be a great time for me to revisit this. I'm looking forward to reading this again. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in the days of the life of Chrissie. Tell me some of the things that you enjoy doing outside of reading. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.